What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video I am running a very unique team. This is something that I think I ran probably like 5 or 6 seasons ago, maybe like early 2022, late 2021. This definitely looks like something of that time era, but it's going to be Tropius, Stunfisk, Unova Stunfisk, and Shadow Hypno. We got the Pancake, the return, or the Pancake strikes back. It's a really fun team, really unique, and has great coverages against the meta that we see today. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this one, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Tropius on the lead versus Steelix. So this isn't the best of matchups. We can do a decent amount of damage with Leaf Blade, but obviously things are going to be stacked up against us the more breaking swipes we get hit by. So what I'm going to look to do here is just go for a Leaf Blade. They do decide to shield, which is perfect. This warrants or allows me now to freely swap into Hypno and clear this breaking swipe debuff, because now it's shown me that they're weak in the back potentially. So I swap into Hypno to start getting ahead on energy. They're going to go ahead and go for another breaking swipe. Totally fine right here. We can let this go. We are in a 2-to-1 shield advantage, and Shadow Hypno with energy can be very dangerous. Now, this is why they shielded on the Steelix early, is their superior is very weak to our Tropius, especially our Air Slash Tropius. So in this matchup, I'm not going to be able to win, but I will be able to chip some of the health with that Shadow Ball as they decide to go for the Frenzy Plant to take me out. I get one more confusion in, which is great. But now Tropius coming in has a great opportunity to load up on energy, as I'm going to go ahead and let them throw an Aerial Ace. I will decide to shield, but I'm going to see if I can actually fully farm down right here. That's my hope, at least. It's going to be very close, but we don't get it. As you see, they survive with like 1 health point right there. So I gotta let this next one go through. It's not going to be enough to KO us, even though it is super effective damage, but we do have an incredible amount of energy. So Steelix is going to be coming back in, and we're going to look to throw as many Leaf Blades right here as we can. We go ahead and throw one, and I decide actually to swap into Stunfisk because I'm wondering if there's actually a Pelipper in the back. This was a team that was used by PV Poke himself, the creator of PD Poke. It is the Double Snake team, and sure enough, there is a Pelipper. So we're going to be able to boom this thing out of the sky, as Stunfisk here is a very good core breaker to this team. Unfortunately, that did not fully KO, which is kind of annoying, and I am running Mud Shot as the fast move instead of Thunder Shock. It's just different coverages that they have. The Mud Shot does better against the tanks, which Tropius needs help against. So I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield here. I think I should be able to win CMP tie against the Steelix, so Mud Bomb will be able to take it. And I also have basically back-to-back charge moves here and near back-to-back on the Tropius as well. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving into the next one. We have Tropius on the lead versus Alolan Ninetales. Now, if this is Powder Snow, it's a wrap, but it's Charm. So we dodged a bullet there. Charm is much more manageable with this team. Powder Snow obviously core breaks Tropius and Unova Stunfisk. If you face off against it, well, best of luck. Try to manage your way through that as best you can. But some game, you're not going to win every game, right? That's the wonderful world of Pokemon. There's always a counter to something. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and shield. I want to try to take this into the ones if I can, and then look to go into the Hypno here. So we do get the ones. We're going to go ahead and swap into Shadow Hypno, as Shadow Confusion is very strong. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take them down in time, but I'm safe here to be able to no shield and let the Weather Ball go through. Now, we see a Sableye come in. So my brain is already starting to calculate what could be in the back. We've seen an Alolan Ninetales. We've seen a Sableye. So my logical conclusion here is those are 2 covers to fighting type Pokemon. There's gotta be a Steel in the back, like a Bastiodon, a Registeel, a Galarian Stunfisk. That's what I'm reading, which is why I decide to come in with Tropius right here and soak some energy, because now I can freely, hopefully I get to this Leaf Blade. No, we're not going to be able to get to it in time. We get farmed down, but now I'm in a position where Stunfisk can come in and farm down. Mind you, we've gotten the Alolan Ninetales out of the way, right? Which is the biggest threat potentially here to the Stunfisk. I'm going to no-shield the Foul Play. There's a Medicham in the back. What have I always said? 11 times out of 10, there's a Medicham hiding in the back. I need to stick to that. because it's always back there. So unfortunately, my team read here was off. I played it to the best of my ability with the knowledge that I had of, okay, we got a fairy on the lead, we got a ghost on the potential safe swap there. There's gonna be a, I mean, obviously a Medicham also makes sense to fight against the Steels, but good game to my opponent. I was not expecting that. I was really hoping for a Registeel to come out or a Steelix or something. All right, moving to the next battle. We got Tropius versus Medicham on the lead. Very positive lead, and my opponent is not swapping out. This is, again, a tell that they might be core broken, and Tropius can potentially do that, especially with Medicham and Lanturn teams. You're going to be seeing that. It's very common. So what I'm going to look to do here is, and with our team as well, we have coverage to Lanturn. We got Mud Bomb, we got Thunder Punch, and Shadow Ball. They decided to shield as well. So this is a big tell to me that they are extremely weak, and I'm actually going to go ahead and no shield. And my thought here is it's Lanturn in the back. So what I would rather do is with Stunfisk having the 2-to-1 shield advantage, I'll take that matchup instead and use Hypno here to farm down with Confusion and get a lot of energy. So let's see if our read was correct. Again, they were core broken because of how they made decisions there. So let's see what decides to come in. It is going to be Trevenant. Okay, so that is why they were core broken. They were very weak to the air/fast move, so it wasn't Lanturn. It is instead a Trevenant, and my hope here is I can get to another Shadow Ball in time, but they swap into Bastion. I bank the Shadow Ball, making sure I had the energy, and I swap into the Stunfisk right here. So this is going to be a good game, unfortunately, for my opponent. Had they gone for one more Shadow Claw there, actually I don't think they would have won anyways, to be fair, because I could have double shielded Seed Bombs and just thrown back-to-back Mud Bombs, and I think it would have been enough damage. It would have been close, and then Bastion here, this isn't even a matchup. Bastion just can't do anything, so that's an easy KO right there for us, as the Pancake here is able to take it out. Let's look at the health. So the Trevenant does come in. If we're looking at the health right here, let's see how much damage Mud Bomb does. It would have been close. 3 Mud Bombs would have been needed in order to win, but I did have 2 shields. So what I'm going to do here is actually no shield. I have a Shadow Ball ready to go, so hopefully the game doesn't glitch, and it doesn't, so I have the energy right away. And Shadow Ball here is going to be one-shotting the Trevenant. Boom. Takes him out. Good game. Very well played. Alright, getting into the next one. We have Tropius on the lead versus Lanturn. Here we go. So Lanturn lead, pretty positive. We do see them swap out in Medicham. There we go. They are core broken officially. And I also have great answers in the back as well for both of these Pokemon. So what I want to look to do is kind of dance this around a little bit. I want to see if I can take this into the ones, and then I want to see if I can fully farm down with Hypno. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace here. We do get a shield. I'm going to go ahead and load up on energy and see if I can catch the charge move on Hypno, which I do, and I get the Confusion through, which is awesome. And they did go for the Ice Punch here, but now Shadow Hypno is going to be able to farm down. We kept energy on Tropius, we maintain switch advantage, and we have an even 1-to-1 shield. You can't ask for anything better than this setup right here. So let's see what they decide to come in with now. They do decide to come in with Lanturn, so I'm going to go ahead and go for Thunder Punch. And this is a Water Gun Lanturn as well. That is critical information to know, because 1, they don't get as much energy in terms of fast moves because Spark gains energy quicker. And 2, Tropius heavily resists Water Gun because of that grass typing. So look at the damage, and this is why I said it was a perfect setup. Look at this. Shadow Hypno is just tearing through, almost Confusions down. I could come in with the Stunfisk and try to predict the soak of the Thunderbolt, but it's honestly safer to just soak the Thunderbolt here for neutral and then look to see what they do. They swap into Superior, so they are triple core broken. Tropius right here is having a very good time today, everyone. Absolutely beautiful. And for those of you who may be wondering, like, how did I get a Tropius? Remember GoFest? I think it was GoFest 2022. It was a part of the incense for the event. So I was able to get that, as I'm sure many of you did as well. So for any new players coming in, how did we and other players get Tropius? Because it is a regional exclusive. It was from GoFest. So we're going to go ahead and soak this Frenzy Plant. This is going to hurt, by the way. This is going to hurt. It is super effective damage, but Stunfisk is an absolute tank, and Mud Bomb here is going to do enough resisted damage where we can easily win this one and Mud Shot down the Lanturn. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Alright, moving into the next one. And that's what I was talking about. You guys are going to see Lanturn and Medichams, and Tropius is a great counter. On the other hand, Alolan Sandslash. Yikes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Hypno right away and hope that they decide to stay in so that I can fake a Fire Punch, right? Why else would I go into Hypno if I didn't have a Fire Punch to one-shot you? So we get a shield right there, which is beautiful. They swap out into Runerigus here. And now this is an interesting situation for me. I'm going to go ahead and shield because I think I can get the Shadow Ball off. Actually, I might have been able to get away with the no shield right there, looking at the Sand Tomb potential damage. But I do get a shield, which is fine. And then what we're going to do here is come back in with Tropius. Now, what I'm reading is we've seen Alolan Sandslash. Runerigus is new in terms of seeing it on an Alolan Sandslash team, but the concept of having anti-fighters is not. So what I'm predicting is, or reading is Medicham, obviously, in the back, potentially, or a Azumarill. And I think Stunfisk here has the opportunity to, Tropius and Stunfisk has an opportunity to win this game. So we're going to go ahead and swap, and they decide to stay in, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and let this go. I think Tropius, if it's a Medicham in the back, Tropius has a better odds of winning. But they're not swapping out. So I'm very confused. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go and hope that I can sneak this Mud Bomb in, which I do. They decided to stay in. And now we're going to find out what was in fact in the back. And if our Tropius can handle it, it's going to be a Azumarill. So this is still going to be a close one. This stinking Fairy Bunny here is so tanky. We're going to go ahead and shield. Back in my day, there was no XL Candy, and a Tropius could 2 Leaf Blade and a Azumarill. Nowadays, it's not the same, right? Doesn't matter how many bananas you have on that chin, you aren't going to body in an Azumarill right here, as we have, mind you, I have the 1-0 shield advantage, and this Tropius is not able to do enough damage as they survive with 1 health point and a dream. Boom. That was a tough loss. I fought so hard to make that game work with an Alolan Sandslash lead. Good game. Alright, we got Greninja here on the lead, and they swap in a Nidoqueen. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Pancake now. Shadow Hypno and Pancake here are very good counters to a Nidoqueen because of the damage that we can do, and I will respect the potential Earth Power, but this gives me an opportunity to massively overload on energy with the Pancake and then have discharges ready to go for Greninja in the back. So we're going to go ahead and farm down. Now, Greninja, if it comes back in, it's going to be in a world of pain. So what I'm going to look to do here is go for double discharge. And I don't know what they have in the back, but I feel like keeping Stunfisk alive might be a good call, as I'm noticing my switch clock coming back up. Because it honestly could be anything back there. It might be another poison if they were having double poison. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into Tropius. And it was another poison, but it was actually a Golbat. So this is going to be a good game. Obviously, you guys can kind of math it out. Hypno with Confusion. Pancake still alive, 50% HP. We're looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go through. But yeah, I was thinking there might be some more juice to be had in terms of utilizing my Stunfisk more than just letting it go down to a Greninja who is free to overload on energy. So I decided to do that. They decided to let it go, and this Greninja, unfortunately, is going to go down to fast moves, and they do decide to surrender. So that's going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving into, let's see, no, we got a couple more. I think there might be 3 more. We got Tropius versus Pelipper. Okay, so this is a tough one right here because Pelipper has Weather Ball and Hurricane. I know it's extremely weak to Thunder Punch and Discharge, But my concern is if it gets way out of hand with energy. So since we got a shield, I'm going to go ahead and go into the Hypno right here. And I'm going to respect the Hurricane. They have enough energy for it. So I'm going to give it that respect. I'm going to shield, and they will be swapping out, and they bring out a Swampert. This is very ideal, everyone. Very ideal, because the Pancake in the back does not like Swampert. In terms of Mud Boys, it's extremely weak to the Hydro Cannon. So what I want to look to do here is hopefully get Switch, if I can, with just landing the Shadow Ball. And they decided no shield, and I don't take it out in time. Honestly frustrated, but I gotta let this go. Remember, the Pelipper is out of energy. It just threw a Hurricane, so having Tropius come back in and get ahead on energy might be very advantageous for us. So we're 2 fast moves ahead now. So let's see what decides to come in. It's going to be Dugong. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out right away into Stunfisk. Because the longer I stay in with Tropius, the worse it gets. I need to get into this matchup right away so that Tropius can win in the end game. Since we got a shield right there with Discharge, I'm going to go ahead and I decide to give up a shield here on Icy Wind. Honestly, it might have not have been the best call, but I'm feeling that Stunfisk here is going to put its weight in for me in order to win this game. So we're going to go ahead and go for another Discharge. Hopefully I can get to... No, they're going to get to another Icy Wind in time. No, they don't. I think they got a little greedy there. I felt like they had... If I was counting correctly, I felt like they had the energy, but they didn't throw. Now they're overloading right here. And what I need to do is if I survive this and switches up, I need to swap out. And it is, so I'm going to go ahead and swap back out and hopefully CMP tie the Leaf Blade. We do. Perfect. This is why getting that energy on the Swampert was so crucial for me as we take out the Dugong. The Pelipper is the last Pokemon left, but remember, it was energy dry. It's not going to make it to Hurricane in time. This is only a Weather Ball. If it's a Hurricane, this trainer is doing something sketchy, but it's a Weather Ball because of how energy works, right? Fast move. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade here, and that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. Close one. All right, moving into the next battle. We have Tropius on the lead versus Venusaur. Okay, so pretty good lead. I honestly need to respect the Sludge Bomb, but my hope here is that I can fast move down with only needing to shield once. And unfortunately, they're at 50%. This means they're going to survive to the next Sludge Bomb, and they swap out into Dugong as well. So this is kind of tough. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Leaf Blade, and then I should have swapped out. Now looking back at it, I should have swapped out, but I go for another Leaf Blade here, hoping to get a shield. And then I'm going to come in with the Hypno. But looking back, I probably should have just gone into Hypno right away. But either way, we're still looking okay, right? We're in the ones. Hypno here can do very well in this matchup. But I'm going to be hit with another Icy Wind, which isn't ideal. As they go for Liquidation. That was a surprise to me. And now I'm in this one. I got to commit to the farm down, which I do. And I have a feeling Venusaur's coming back in, so I want to try to throw the Shadow Ball. But they come in with Azumarill, unfortunately for me. Because Azumarill right here, I could have gotten back-to-back Thunder Punches off, but instead I only got one Shadow Ball. And that mistake on me is going to come back to bite me. So now I have to come in with Stunfisk here. And I have to make a very tough decision, because I have a feeling that it might have Hydro Pump. It might have Hydro Pump. This was a team that I utilized earlier in the season. It was run by someone else. I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head, and they do. Oh, boom! I nearly get one shot. I have to swap right into Tropius and try to do my best in order to win this game. Remember, the Venusaur is out of energy as well. So my hope is that I can get to back-to-back Leaf Blades. So I go to throw, and I think I got this, right? If I go Leaf Blade here, they shield, and then I get to another one, but they get to the Sludge Bomb in time. I had the energy right there, but that was misplaced by me. Looking at the health remaining, boom, I go down, and yeah, I'm going to go down to fast move. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. I could have won that one had I played it better. but that's just what happens sometimes. Moving into the final one here, we have Tropius on the lead versus Lanturn. Again, very nice for us. They decide to stay in, and then they swap out into Steelix, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Pancake. Obviously, Mud Bomb is going to be performing very well in this matchup. It doesn't matter how shiny that Steelix is. Mud Bomb does do super effective damage, so we're going to try our best right here to maintain switch, as we should be able to do that with the Stunfisk. Now, they do decide to shield that Mud Bomb, which is fine. Obviously, with a Breaking Swipe Steelix, you want to be shielding the fast moves earlier rather than later because of how the attack debuff works. So what we need to do is we actually took this into the 2-to-1s for us, which means Hypno actually does well against Lanturn in that situation. So I'm okay with potentially soft losing this matchup. But what I really want to do here is get this Steelix lower and see if I can actually take this now into the 1-to-0s. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I mean 1-to-0s is the shield matchup. So I have one and they have one right now, but I want to try to get rid of their second one. So I'm going to go ahead and overload. I'm going to go for this next Mud Bomb. And if we get a shield, I think we get to the next one in time, which we do. But they swap out into Bastiodon. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. Stunfisk here, I'm doing way less damage. I actually need to swap out into Hypno now to try to do my best to take down this Bastiodon and get it low. Now, I still have a shield remaining, so I think my shield being spent here is going to give us the biggest bang for my buck, because Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch is going to either take out the Bastiodon or it's going to get it very, very low. And Tropius does not need a shield to beat Lanturn in the zeros, and the Steelix is basically out of the game anyway. So we throw the Thunder Punch here. We barely don't take it out, but we do fast move down, so that's a good game. Yeah, they decide to surrender. We still had good alignment and good energy and good health, so good game, very well played. This team overall super fun, very unique in terms of the meta Pokemon we are seeing, but what I noticed is a lot of Lanturn Medicham teams got core broken. Stunfisk did a great job at anchoring my team or countering all the Steelix that you guys might be seeing, and Shadow Hypno is just a great safe swap overall and pretty strong in the meta. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.